Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 30th of September 2022. Well, it seems like quite a lot's been happening this week. A notable bit of news was Toby Young's Daily Skeptic publication and what he calls the Free Speech Union. Well, they had their accounts, multiple accounts, closed down by PayPal. You may or may not have heard of this story, but honestly, these big tech companies are so out of order. And what on earth do they think they're playing at? Especially closing down the account of an organisation called the Free Speech Union because you don't agree with their politics. It's absolutely pathetic. But there has been a massive backlash against PayPal on this, and I'm delighted to say that they've now reversed their decision, and I believe that Toby Young, the Daily Skeptic and the Free Speech Union, along with other organisations who suffered the same punishment, they've all had their accounts reopened. There is an interesting video where Toby Young was interviewed by Mark Steyn of GB News, and Mark Steyn made the very astute observation that if this sort of thing's allowed to continue, where does it end? Is the electricity company you're with going to cut off your electricity because they don't agree with your politics, or is the water company going to do the same? And it is just pathetic, it really is. And they were talking about we should be lobbying for laws to ban this kind of thing, which that would be one law I would sort of think would be a step in the right direction, because you can't have big tech going around just telling people what they can and can't do, say, think or believe in. And with that said, I have closed down my own PayPal account. It's an account that I've had for over 20 years. I only set it up because I do quite a lot of stuff on eBay, or certainly used to anyway. And until fairly recently, you had to pay for anything you bought on eBay and also receive payments through PayPal. eBay and PayPal were kind of linked together, but in fairly recent times, eBay have made their own payment facility, so you don't really need PayPal anymore anyway. So, but with that said, I would have, if that hadn't have been the case, I would have still made the decision to close my PayPal account. So I did that earlier on. I meant to do it a bit earlier in the week, but I only sort of remembered to get round to doing it just now. So my PayPal account of over 20 years standing is now closed. So goodbye, PayPal. If you're going to trample all over freedom of speech and people's rights, that's what you've got to expect. And that goes for any big company. If you're going to engage in this nonsense, expect consequences. Expect people like me to walk away. So that is one bit of news. The other big bit of news is this whole Nord Stream thing. Obviously the Russian pipeline which transports gas to Western Europe, and that has been blown up by somebody. Well, it's unclear who it was who did that sabotage. All I'd say is, would the Russians really do it when all they've got to do is turn the thing off? So my best guess would be that it was done by another party, and I don't know who. Could be Biden and his lot. After all, he did say he was going to do it back in February. You've probably seen that news conference where he said he was going to take steps to neutralize the thing if the Russians invaded Ukraine. And the only thing I'd say about that is it's taken them a long time to do it, especially as he said it back in February. But who knows? I'm sure it will all come out on the wash. But until that happens, I haven't really got too much to say about that. I'm going to leave it. I have heard from a couple of people up country a bit that it is raining up there. Been a really horrible wet day. It's been actually dry right up to now until I started making this video in here, and sure enough, there's rain spots on the windscreen here, so it looks like the rain has come down south now. So don't know what the weather forecast is for the weekend, but it's going to be a wet evening anyway, I suppose. So I'll leave it there with that weather observation. Back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.